exercise helps you with change. I asked a psychologist one time. Okay, she was my psychologist, but I asked my psychologist one time, I said, what is the single best thing I can do for myself lifestyle wise to handle anxiety and stress and change and just any negative emotion? And she said, hands down, it's exercise. And this is why. She said it takes 90 days to create baby neurons. And baby neurons are what is in your brain. And, we train our brain to do the same thing and to like the same thing. We like routine, a lot of us. And when those things are changed, or those certain people are no longer in our life, or the things that we're familiar with are gone, our brain hasn't adapted to it yet. So those little baby neurons sprout in your brain, and they can grow new neural pathways, which means that when that happens and you are experiencing change, your brain is able to adapt and create. Yet with the relationships, I had a mindset shift when I almost died. And that was back before when people were annoying. Sometimes people just annoy you. But even like with my children or with my family or with my significant others, I like an example would be this in a typical day. I would get up and I would say, okay, I have to get up. I have to get the kids up. I have to make breakfast. I have to get their lunches made. I have to get them ready. I have to get me ready. I have to get them to school. After they're done with school, I got to take them to practice. I have to help them with homework. I have to I have to, I have to, I have to, I have to, I have to. And then I almost died and I almost didn't get to. And that was really revealing to me, because I went from saying I have to all the time to I get to. I get to kind of phrase it of, have I lived today? A lot of times in periods of our lifetime, and you'll know what I'm saying. We have gone through times where we're just surviving. We're just doing the day-to-day tasks. We've got a list, or we've got a family, or we've got to work, we've got our own business, whatever it is, where we're just going and we're doing, but we're not living. And we don't like, some of us love to give up the task, but a lot of us don't, because it gives us a sense of control and consistency, and we don't like the unknown, and we don't like change. So we get in that pattern, and then life just kind of happens to us. And I think also that sometimes when there's so much change happening in the outside that we can't control, that we feel overwhelmed, this is super helpful, because it's something that we can control and we can make a change to ourselves, and it's positive. And so what I recommend is usually a little bit towards late afternoon. It kind of depends. Like if you have a job, sometimes I'll tell people 30 minutes before you get off work, or if there's a certain time before you're going to go in and eat dinner, whatever it is, to set an alarm. And then, you know what? Maybe today's the day to set a timer for 20 minutes, take control of the situation and fix it. Now, what does 20 minutes have to do with that? Well, we all know people in our lives, and perhaps ourselves, who have taken 20 minutes and have completely changed their lives in a positive way. And here's an example. Change is hard. Change takes courage. Change often happens to us rather than us making the change. And I want to challenge you of, rather than having change happen to you, to have change happen for you, especially in difficult circumstances or difficult situations. Some people do say, what is the single thing that if I could just pick one thing, it's not exercise, it's gratitude. There is just something so powerful about being grateful for what you have in front of you. And the studies show that saying or writing down, it has to actually be verbal or physical. You can't just think it. It's something, the way that the brain works, that if you say 3 things that you're thankful for every day in 6 weeks, it literally changes your brain to be a happier, less stressed, more grateful person. And people say, what do I have to be thankful for? Well, for me, my bar is so low. Like, it's really low. Like, there's times when we have blizzards here in Colorado. I'm like, thank you, God, for indoor plumbing. Like, I literally think that. I'm like, I'm so happy I'm not in the outhouse. Or sometimes I wake up and I'm like, my legs work. This is fantastic. But having the mindset and the skills to learn how to just accept and embrace that and realize it's a part of the process, it just makes us better people. If you think about the things that you've learned that have made you the best person that you are, I can guarantee it was through difficult times, right? It was through the difficult times that made you better. I wish it was through the easy. I wish I could eat a lot of cheese, wine, and chocolate, and then I would be like super smart and wealthy. Like, that's what I wish. But it doesn't work that way, right? And growing up outside in the seasons or whatever, there's always that sense of change, that first cold fall day or that first warm spring day. We can almost feel the rumbling under the earth of the flowers, the plants just starting to grow. And you can't have spring without winter. You can't have the fall without summer. Things have to change, and they always will. But you are more resilient than you know. You're more capable than you know. You have so much to offer, that it's worth the pain and the effort and the discomfort to accomplish that with whatever your purpose is.